Hello and welcome to the Screw City Stanzas podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Garcia. Today, I am very pleased to announce that our very first featured writer on the show is Stephanie Castillo. She's a poet, musician, and a lyricist. I had the opportunity to meet and speak with Stephanie at a poetry open mic that happened at the Underground in Rockford. She was extremely supportive of the performers at the event, and I look forward to having you all hear from her.
My name is Stephanie Castillo. I have a job in marketing, and I also am a musician. I'm a singer in a local cover band, and I like to write poetry. I've been writing it all my life, but kind of started taking it more serious when I was about in 2018. Calling myself a writer is new for me. I had an indie band in the early 2000s, and I used to write songs for that. Even when I was a kid, I wrote songs all the time, but never really did anything with them until I got older. So my songs they were always really wordy as I got older and wanted to talk about more complex things. So then they became poems, and then they rhymed a lot. And I started reading more poetry and listening to a lot of poetry, and thank God for YouTube, because I got to see other poets perform spoken word and got kind of obsessed with it. I still have oodles of playlists and listen a lot, but I also, buy books and read them too. I really enjoy it. It's a great way for me to sort my feelings and figure out what's going on. And so recently I've just really have gotten into sorting my crap out on the page. And I plan on making a chapbook at some point, but after talking to a writer who's a friend of the family, I realized I probably need a lot more editing and to hash over some things line by line. But I did include these 3 poems for you, so I hope you like them. Cornfields. Soon, my heart will lay on the floor again, as if it belongs in the snow. Deeply buried beneath rock-hard leftovers, where once the harvest shot up so far you could not see the road. Just rows of green potential waiting for the golden fruit that would feed the world in any form. I knew the cold was coming, though I could not peer past the crowd. Not yet a bird, I had no way of knowing that I had planted the same stupid crop for miles. Every season the same, with my footprints across this simple labyrinth, always trying to look ahead from seed to dust and dust to seed. Every morning just raking over the same cow shit, a perpetual influence as old as my lineage. But now it is September. And while the whole town has been fed, I can no longer stomach what the heat of the sun has brought to life. So I can the remains, soak them in jars, stare at their sugar-filled promises, and know there is no more to consume for me. Just these honest preservations, and more to share with the other farmers looking to see the real horizon again. Take apart. The winds sit with your dirty dishwater, because although the remnants of this feast have been washed away, there shall be another tomorrow. Small bites of bliss or an overloaded plate, none of which we can sample without the ashes of our burned flesh floating atop. What would it taste like to savor a spoonful of honesty and to dip deep into my own bitter sticky goo that can't help but string onto everything, to let your beautiful tongue taste something so sour to me. Let it transform to honey behind the turn of your smile. It's good, you said, as you wiped your mouth, and then my tears.
Standing out. If the statue hit play, would the town still be talking? Would the parade shut down, or would simply no one give a damn for what do you now since but lacking? If trauma becomes your voice that the masses center around and analyze, do you leave it there or introduce the awakened mess you are now? Because the real book of answers is only a list of questions you can take with you to foreign lands when what you once knew is suddenly gone. So do we share it all? Social media says yes. Have your conversations out loud. But we've got the screenshot. And the viewer's choice, who you are, is only an evolution if we say so. And if not, it's just a blip. Trends gone by, hanging like ornaments we pray to a moment in time, although most stories don't really end there, do they? What they know of you, what you give, or better, what they choose to take, will be that of their own legend. It was never really yours to begin with. Just a sock puppet's version of your finest hour in a rickety frame at the back of the hall.
Thank you so much for listening to the Screw City Stanzas podcast. If you would like to be featured in a future episode, please reach out to me. My email is dylangarciapoetry@gmail.com, and I go by Dylan Garcia Poetry on all social media. Have a good one, and keep writing.